Would you please stand for the pledge? I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Heavenly Father, we beseech your divine guidance in this meeting. Keep us ever mindful of our obligation. Grant us, dear Lord, wisdom, tolerance, and courage, that we may well serve our county and fulfill our trust. Amen.
Amen. Move to approve the minutes of February 10th.
Second.
Discussion? Roll?
Hambley?
Yes.
Harrison?
Yes.
Sweattick?
Yes, thank you. Okay, do we have any public comment on any pending resolutions? Any resolutions that we're gonna, on our list today?
Oh, I guess not.
Okay, then that'll be public comment later, okay? Thank you. Next up, we have resolutions. First up, we have Jeremy Cinco.
Good morning.
Morning, everybody.
Morning.
3 resolutions for consideration today. The first is authorizing change order number 1 for the Canby Building project at the Liverpool Wastewater Treatment Plant. The second is authorizing change order number 2 for the Canby Building project at the Liverpool Wastewater Treatment Plant. And the third is authorizing change order number 1 for the Garmin Road Well Development project.
Move to approve the 3 resolutions.
Second.
Discussion? Roll?
Hambley?
Yes.
Harrison?
Yes.
Sweattick?
Yes.
Thank you.
Good.
Thank you, Jeremy. Next up, we have Denise Testa from Planning.
I just have one resolution for your consideration, accepting and awarding a client professional services agreement to Kleinfelder to assist with the submittal requirements for PY23 application for the CDBG or Community Development Block Grant.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion? Roll?
Hambley?
Yes.
Harrison?
Yes.
Sweattick?
Thank
Yes.
you.
Very good. Thank you.
Thank you. Next up, we have Holly Murin, Human Resources Director.
Good morning.
Good morning.
On our personnel changes resolution today, we have 6 new hires, 1 in human resources, 2 in maintenance, 1 at county home, 1 at solid waste district, and 1 in building. 1 promotion at job and family services, 6 rate increases, 1 in human resources, 2 in sanitary, 1 in dog shelter, and 2 at job and family services. 1 position change at job and family services, and 1 appointment canceled in building.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion? Roll?
Hambley?
Yes.
Harrison?
Yes.
Sweattick?
Yes.
Thank you.
Good. Thank you.
Next up, we have Brett Thomas, our Finance Director.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
I have 4 resolutions for you today. Our first is amending the agreement for intake and referral for the service coordinator between Medina County's Family First Coordinator for the Early Intervention Program and the Catholic Charities. We're increasing this grant. It was originally at $280,000. We're revaluing it for $285,000. Our second resolution is another amendment for Family First Council for the Early Intervention Program with the Health Department. Originally, this was an agreement for $67,000 for a coordinator, and we are increasing that up to $72,000. Our third resolution is for expenses for county officials for McSass this time, not out of state. And finally, our fourth and final resolution is our weekly bills in the amount of $1,516,105.40.
Move to approve the 4 resolutions.
Second.
Discussion? Roll?
Hambley?
Yes.
Harrison?
Yes.
Sweattick?
Yes.
Thank you,
Brett.
Commissioner.
Next up, we have Matt Springer, our County Administrator.
Good morning. I have 3 resolutions. The first one is authorizing the leasing of vehicles for the Medina County Sheriff's Office. They'll be replacing 8 vehicles and bringing in 9. This is part of their 2026 budgeted request. Second resolution is accepting bids for the University Center Garage Edition and then awarding. Kavanaugh was the lowest and most responsive bid at $803,000. And third and final is amended lease agreement with Community Action to provide some temporary space for MMHA. They've been displaced temporarily, so we're making some accommodations.
Move to approve the 3 resolutions.
Second.
Discussion?
Shouldn't that read Medina County Career Center as opposed to University Center? It used to be, but it's,
Yes.
the reference is the South Campus.
Yes.
So, with that amendment, I'd like, okay.
And also, that it's very nice for community action to be so accommodating.
Right.
Okay.
Roll?
Hambley?
Yes.
Harrison?
Yes.
Sweattick?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, next, I don't see Brandon.
He was in the hallway.
I know.
Yeah.
Is Brandon there?
I saw him pick up looked like he grabbed a
Get
phone
him.
call, maybe.
Brandon Gibson from Economic Development will be here momentarily.
Here he comes.
I think we scheduled our meeting at a bad time this week. We shouldn't have done it at 9:30.
I know.
We should have done it at our normal time.
Commissioners, how are you? Thanks for having me. In front of you today, you have one resolution. This is a CRA agreement for Hopewell Development Co. That name is better known as Great Lakes Construction in Hinckley. We're very pleased to say that they are expanding their operation. They're 130th and 303 over there. They are investing $3.2 million in new payroll for 40 new jobs. And the total project cost has moved up since they planned it. Started right around $2 million, but they're going to come in closer to $3 million in total investment for the new expansion.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion?
Just that this is consistent with all the other CRA agreements within that area.
Correct.
It's also good to know that even when construction companies are doing construction, that costs increase unexpectedly.
Yeah, correct. Yes.
Roll?
Hambley?
Yes.
Harrison?
Yes.
Sweattick?
Yes.
Thanks, Commissioner.
Thank
good.
you. Okay, we have department updates. First up, we have Matt, our chief building official.
Good morning.
Morning, Matt.
I come bearing charts for everybody. You could take one down, pass it around.
All right, sure.
This is something I'm going to incorporate into my monthly reports for you guys moving forward. Before I begin, I have two resolutions. One is for the reappointment of Paul Weekly to our appeals board, and the other is to re-up the agreement with Jared Dickey for our master plans examiner.
Move to approve both resolutions.
Second.
Discussion? Roll?
Hambley?
Yes.
Harrison?
Yes.
Sweattick?
Yes.
All right. Very good. So in the folders, I have the first one is my actual report, and I kind of color coded it to all the charts. I'm going to try and not get too deep into these charts today, but if you guys have a chance to break them down, look at them, let me know what you like and don't like about them. If you want to see extra information in there, should be easy for me to do moving forward. So. Couple things real quick. There's horizontal lines on here. Those are showing the averages over the last couple of years. So you have a comparison of the average, and also easier way to look back at the month to month on these, as opposed to me just kind of rambling off some quick numbers up here. So
I know it's only a
hopefully-
month in, but average cost at $523. Wow.
Yeah, some of these numbers at the beginning of the year are kind of crazy because there's not much comparable there. But these charts do a good job of showing, where we were at January of last year versus kind of an end of the year. So, so yeah, if you could, once you all get a chance to look at these, if you could let me know what you think. So yeah, commercially, we're off to a very slow start because a lot of these commercial jobs were just little renovations, little additions, stuff like that. And also, if you look back on the 2024 chart, we had a huge number in January, and that was a Wadsworth school. So that really kind of skews everything. And, eventually as the year goes on, we get caught up. So number of permits for January was low compared to the last 2 years, but our receipts was up, and that's due to that fee increase. So that's showing some good signs there. Residentially, we had some big houses come through, so our average house price is up, which also throws our cost of construction up. And our receipts and number of permits is relatively close to what's been in the years past. So, and then the last one with the totals and green, those are all kind of showing the same trends, obviously, because it kind of evens out. I've been doing a lot of work, departmentally. I've been getting out, meeting with a lot of other departments, starting to coordinate them. I had a good meeting with Bethany, actually showing her a lot of the stuff we have available, information that she needs. Dave is been really holding down the fort for me, keeping those review times down. We got a little bit of a bump on them, but still well below the 30-day threshold. We're definitely watching that. One of those resolutions, we hired a new full-time clerk. She'll be starting on March 2nd. And I'd just like to start pointing out how many inspections our department really does. We did 925 inspections last month, and that was with 5 inspectors. So those guys are out there really working. So, you guys get to see all of our internal numbers and never get to enjoy how hard my inspectors are out there, running around the county working. So that is my report.
Very good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Matt.
Thank you so much. Okay, next up, we have Jesse Kane from MMHA. Can I hand these to you guys to pass?
Sure.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
I want to start by thanking you guys for allowing us to take some space at Job and Family Services. Our relocation has been tricky, but we're getting through it. It hasn't been easy, but that space is perfect for what we need to do, so we appreciate it. So I'll just go over quickly the next step up stats. So just in 2026, we've already housed 7 households, which is a lot, which that was basically all in January. We actually housed 1 person today and another person last week. But so we're on a really good track to house quite a few families and households this year. In total, since we've opened, so we've almost been open a year now. Our birthday or our anniversary is the 27th of February. So in a year almost, we've served 205 people. So that's 205 people that have been homeless in our community some way or another. 22 of them have been kiddos. In January, we actually served 2 few-day-old babies, which was really eye-opening for staff. I think it really just is a test to the need of who we're serving. But we are so grateful that we've been able to do this, because if it wasn't for Next Step Up, those little babies wouldn't have had a place to go. I do kind of want to touch a little bit on the point in time count that was had on February 3rd, just to give you some preliminary numbers of what we've seen. So that night we observed 27 homeless observations. So that is all of the people outside of the shelter. That is just street homelessness. Some of those I anticipate are duplicates, because our system, the app we use, doesn't track exactly where people were found, but 27 homeless observations were had, which it's provided us some really significant insight into what our county is seeing, but also the significant need for services that we have at the shelter. A few of those people that we outreached on that night have entered shelter, or they've connected to one of our case managers to be able to start getting services. And I do want to point out that not every person we've connected with or, came into contact with that night wants to come into shelter, but that still doesn't mean we don't want to wrap around them. Engaging with them, outreaching, and just connecting with them to even get our other housing service programs is essential for us. So I kind of just wanted to provide a little bit about that. And then I'll take questions if you have any.
I'm glad you settled into your new place.
Yeah, it's been perfect for what we need it for, so we appreciate it.
Well, I think the telling numbers too, you have 32 households that have successfully exited the shelter and then found places to live, and then 39 have actually secured employment too, which is all good.
Yeah, yep, and it's helpful. Where we move, JFS is on the campus, so oftentimes our clients, the people we serve, are right there. So
That's
moving
awesome.
wasn't ideal, but our location is prime.
Super,
So thank
great.
you.
Well, thank you.
Okay, next up we have Jody Robbins from the Visitors Bureau.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm just going to give a quick little commercial. I will have you know that Matt and Jesse and I are all in the Legacy 35 class this year. So I'm very proud of my people that we are learning about Medina County and all the different amazing things about it. All right, so you have in front of you our beautiful visitor guide. This is something that Matt and I are extremely proud of. Curious if you have any feedback as I give some stats here. Of note, we created this in-house with a 3-person team. Matt took almost 100 photos in this guide. We sold 31 ads. There were 14 businesses that renewed, and we added 17 new businesses for ads. When I got the quotes from different companies to actually create this guide for us, we saved about $50,000 on the whole thing.
Wow.
So obviously that was a good decision on our part. And I think one thing to note is that typically because of the cost of the visitor guide, which is so important to share with people outside of the county, outside of the state, usually because of the cost of that, it was something that we had to pay for over a few months, and it's already paid for. So we're collecting the ads, the ad payment in. And then just something that's a little different, we decided to have 3 sections to navigate everything that there is in the county. And so depending on where people stay, where people stop on the interstates or on the state routes as they're coming into Medina County, they can kind of have a one-stop shop for what they can do while they're there and then what they need to see when they come back. So we printed 50,000. They were delivered to our distribution partners already. We were able to track that. We were at the printers to watch it print, which was amazing. There'll be another big push in March where we will actually polybag that guide with long weekends. So the first long weekends of the year, we'll be distributing that with that guide mailed to people's houses in Southwest Ohio. And then in June for the fall one, we will be doing that in Pittsburgh and New York and Eastern Ohio. So we're already working on the reimagined kids guides, which I know you like that. Yes, we will still have pizza stops and we'll add a few new ones for you to choose from. And Matt has already started working on a golf guide that will be ready for summer distribution. So as we have golfers come into the county, we'll have something for them that will give them an idea of what they can do when they're here other than golf. So stakeholder outreach, just after our last report, Medina County Legacy Attraction Tour, we took 8 people, including 3 Legacy Hotel staff. They were curious to the different attractions in Medina County. So in a whirlwind tour, we stopped at Castle Noel, Sweets and Geeks, Black Cat Books, Market 42, Mapleside, Majestic Meadows, Root Candle, and we ended at H2. We learned that BVIP is excellent to work with for those types of tours. The tour timing support we got from Fiona Quaid of H2, and the tour was well received, so much so that they decided they wanted to plan another tour in the spring once all of the historical societies open. So we'll be taking them so they can have a touch of the history of Medina County. Celestia Theater opened since we've last met on December 6th. We're very excited about this venue. You can read more about that in our special advertising section for the Southern. We still remained engaged with the Legacy Project. That's something that it's a weekly meeting with different folks just to kind of see where things are at. We attended the ribbon cutting for Off the Wagon. The welcome post that Matt provided was the most engaged post that we've had still after several months. So Off the Wagon is one of those places that people are actually traveling to go to. We attended meetings with the following stakeholders since mid-November. Medina Adventure Co., Medina County Historical Society, Black Cat Books on their 2026 events, and the staff had a little research and development family fun night at Foundry Social. We've been working with the Medina County Career Center on their upcoming Technical School Superintendent Forum, which is taking place in the middle of April. So they're going to have about 50 to 60 technical superintendents throughout the state that are coming here, and we're helping get people to stay after their forum. There's another forum and training with Heritage Ohio that's going to be taking place in Main Street in the fall of 2026. We're working with them. Ormaco, we've already planned a meeting for June 2027. We're going to have a reception during Jazz Under the Stars and work on getting some hotel blocks for people to stay at Legacy. On the community side of things, Leadership Medina County, as I had mentioned earlier, 8 days into this, we had our mid-year retreat. And then we've been named Legacy 35 class. Graduation for that is on May 14th. Fall foliage, even when there's snow on the ground, we still meet, we still plan things. That is set for the southeastern quadrant of the county. And then Medina Beer Fest, the meetings have already started, and the CVB will co-sponsor the designated driver tent with mocktails again with picklebacks. What else is going on? Matt is actually participating in OTLA, which is the Ohio Travel Association's leadership class, which I took last year. This leadership program is designed to introduce travel from the state perspective, exposing the who's who's and the hows and whys of Ohio tourism. Matt and I are actively working on a partnership for 2026 with the Akron Summit County CVB, just to kind of see how we can partner when people are here to take that short trip between Medina and Akron. And then Matt and I were able to just travel to Columbus for our spring travel show. There's a show there called Good Day Extra, and they have several travel shows during the year, and we just filmed the spring one. Staff updates. Dom, our intern, was able to come back and spend time with us over winter break. Matt is now officially full-time, and our bookkeeping transition is going well. And that's my report.
Excellent.
Great job. Very good.
Okay, we do have a commissioner resolution. We have a resolution amending the bylaws and grant guidelines of the Medina County Drug Advisory Committee, also known as McDAC.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion?
Yeah, the last week, the Medina County Drug Advisory Committee met and modified I think it was last week, the bylaws, and requires us to also take action on it since it's an advisory. The only the major modification was just it was at Prosecutor Forrest Thompson's recommendation of more clearly defining the application of that all meetings shall comply with the revised code sections, Open Meetings Act, and the revised code section involving the Public Records Act, rather than just a broad reference to Ohio sunshine laws. So it's more specificity as to that part, but that was the only change. But obviously, it requires our ratification.
Okay, roll.
Hambley?
Yes.
Harrison?
Yes.
Sweattick?
Yes. Okay, next up, we have public comment. Do we have anyone here for public comment? Sure, come on up.
No.
When does my time start? I just wanted to thank you.
Oh, okay.
Can I thank you just a
watched the
second?
clock. I watched the clock.
Okay.
so.
I want to read something, but I want to thank you. I mean, I come here, this is my 5th time here to observe, and I just think there are lots of wonderful things happening in Medina.
Can I have your name, please?
Elaine Stone, and I'll give you that in a second. And so I'm the person you don't want to invite to the party, because I'm going to say some things that are going to be a little hard to hear. So I'm going to start, okay? My name's Elaine Stone. I'm from Medina, 1151 North Jefferson Street, Unit 9. Last week I was here with 50 others, and I counted them. There were 50 in this room, speaking in favor of the resolution that focused on limiting the county's participation in cooperation with ICE. After the commissioners' meeting, I heard on the news that the resolution was tabled. People who supported the resolution but weren't present had asked me what reasons did they give. And this is my best recollection, in my own words. One of you spoke to me that there was simply nothing you could do. It's out of our jurisdiction. From another, we don't even know that ICE is coming to Medina. From another, these kinds of resolutions hog-tie the sheriff's department, so that's why we are hesitant. One of you repeatedly said to me after the meeting, "This is all your opinion, you're entitled to your opinion." Tabling the resolution because of any or all of these responses appears inadequate. Perhaps you will have other reasons you can share with us. 13 years ago, I moved to Medina County from Gettysburg. In Gettysburg, I lived about a half a block from the battlefield, so I'd walk to the battlefield nearly every day. The thoughts of the Civil War were constantly in my mind. When I moved to Medina area, then I was very interested in the fact that Medina was a station of the Underground Railroad. I was excited to take a tour of some of the Underground Railroad homes. I attended a wonderful program at the library. I felt very proud, right along with you. Then later I learned that not very far from here is a tiny little town that was a hub for the KKK. Kokomo, Indiana, where I raised my children, was also hugely into the Klan. A half a mile from my home there was a historic Klan camp that when the Klan slid back under the rock became a nice place for my kids to have summer activities. It's not unusual for any of us to live as neighbors to people who have strong fear and resistance to immigrants, to blacks, to people who don't look like us or speak like us. In fact, some of them are our family members. Recently, they have been encouraged to come back into the light of day, and they call themselves Christian nationalists, white Christian nationalists. What I'm saying here is there are both sides of the coin here in Medina County. There's racism, and there's inclusivity. But what we are proud of, what we put signs up about, what we give tours about, what we have library programs about, and what we shout and sing about when we want to talk about Medina's past, is the fact that some of our relatives, our forefathers, our foremothers, were on the right side of history when it came to slavery. We celebrate and identify with the sign that's outside the courthouse. Maybe all you were there when it was dedicated, commemorating resistance fighter Frederick Douglass. He visited Medina in 1847. We're proud of our little town's history of defending and protecting the vulnerable. But don't kid yourself, it wasn't easy. Medina's Underground Railroad was underground for a reason. Hiding and transporting slaves was illegal and dangerous, even life-threatening. It was covert. The Underground Railroad was just people like you and me, putting continuous pressure on the system that allowed slavery. We are proud to be a piece of that history. So back to the resolution and our immigrant brothers and sisters. Rest assured, we all know that you three did not, in all your nightmares, assume you would be called to stand up at such a time like this. ICE currently is an unconstitutional, criminal, violent, unaccountable federal force, supported and promoted by the highest elected officials in our land. Who could have predicted that our Medina County commissioners would have to deal with this? Perhaps you can consider this your once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to use adversity as a catalyst to strength, resilience, and leadership. Adopting the resolution that we presented last week, I'm sure, is a legal issue for our county commissioners. But it is just as importantly a moral and a humanitarian and a spiritual issue that you face. So we hope you will lead morally, humanely, and spiritually. In closing, so don't cut me off. A resistance fighter recently said, "That's fine, dude. You probably know the rest of it. I'm not mad at you." I want to say the same thing to you. I don't have an angry, a partisan, a violent bone in my body. I'm not even a Democrat. Got it? So don't call me Democrat. I'm just a Medina County senior citizen, joining, and this is truth, with hundreds of others in Medina County, young and old, who are working together in Medina to find ways to ensure that the 6,000 Hispanic residents and all the other immigrants in our county are supported, appreciated, and most of all, protected, because they are all a valuable part of the fabric of our county. And I want to say thank you for your work. You do amazing work. I hold nothing against you as individuals. I want you to know that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Do we have any other? Come on up.
Morning.
Your name and address, please.
My name is Ron Maitland, 432 Lafayette Road in Medina. I'm a lifelong resident of Medina County of 71 years. I've been paying property taxes for 50 years, and I have voted for each and every one of you. Today, I want to protest any resolution barring the Sheriff's Department from cooperating with ICE. Why on earth would we want to handcuff law enforcement and let the minions run wild? If law enforcement had done their job in Minneapolis, Renee Good and Alex Preddy would still be alive today. I urge you to follow federal and state laws, and as a taxpayer, I demand law and order and your support of ICE. Anti-ICE people quote scripture saying they are called to welcome the immigrant. John 10:1 says, anyone who does not enter through the gate but climbs in through some other means is a thief and a robber. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Is there anyone else? Name and address, please.
Good morning, Commissioners. My name is Brian Hopkins. I live and reside and own a residential home on 3931 Deer Lake Drive in Medina Township. I appreciate the opportunity to speak with you today. I'm here to strongly encourage the board to maintain our cooperation with federal law enforcement agencies, particularly in supporting the enforcement of immigration laws as they relate to inadmissible aliens. This is a critical component of ensuring compliance with federal standards, upholding the rule of law, and safeguarding our community's integrity and security. I would like to emphasize that this discussion is focused solely on individuals who are legally classified as inadmissible. It's not about immigrants who are lawfully present in the United States. Keeping that distinction, I think, is very important. While we're seeing the influx of activism attempting to push Medina toward obstructive sanctuary policies of Cleveland and Akron, I think we must be clear that if we follow their lead, we will stop being Medina. So part of this movement was being fueled by some bad information. At last week's meeting, a resident from Cuyahoga County, who's a local candidate for Congress, claimed that certain individuals were moved from the naturalization process in Chicago last December simply because of how they looked. And that's false, and it's dangerously inflammatory. The reality is that those individuals were flagged due to questionable vetting information from their home countries, which happen to be high-risk countries. And as a reminder, under the Immigration and Nationality Act, prospective candidates for residency and citizenship must provide verifiable documentation to prove that they meet the legal requirements to enter and remain in the United States. So when a home country cannot verify that information or validate that, federal law requires that the process be halted. Now, vetting isn't discrimination. We do it every day. Business people vet employees, they check their background, they check their references, because they're protecting their companies. And as a father, that's a young man who's wanting to date their daughter. He has an obligation to protect his family. And if the references don't check out, then you don't proceed. You don't just ignore the red flags and just to be polite. So the federal government has that exact same responsibility. And to frame a failure of international record keeping as discrimination is inappropriate and potentially inflammatory. So I'd like to commend the county for its continued participation in the Secure Communities program, which helps identify criminal aliens during the booking process to ensure that individuals who pose a threat to Medina residents are properly flagged. I encourage you to undertake additional programs that would offer both training and funding to our local resources, reimbursing services, paying for salaries, overtime, and developing a cost-neutral or even a financially beneficial program. So the presence of our law enforcement during federal actions, I think, is a win for everyone. When our officers are on scene, they help protect the integrity of the entire process, just as Commissioner Hambley highlighted at the end of last week's meeting. Their involvement ensures accountability, transparency, and that procedures are carried out correctly, legally, and constitutionally. So by staying engaged, we make sure we keep a seat at that table, and we make sure that there's proper accountability. So, and then I'd also like to note that last week, it's important that we fully understand the ripple effects of a resolution. If the Protecting Ohio Communities Act passes and the legislature and becomes law, adopting that resolution could cost us up to 10% of our local government fund distribution, which could take money away from roads, bridges, and public safety. So to call these issues in the resolution complex or contentious would be an understatement. I truly appreciate the thoughtful consideration that you've given on how to and whether to move forward, but in my view, we already have clear guidance on the books to act responsibly without adopting this resolution. So that's why I strongly urge you to not approve it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else who would like to talk on public comment? Okay, Jeremy, do you have something?
Yeah, actually,
Oh, wait.
before, I was going to add something in discussion session, but since it came up, maybe this is a good time to do it. But there was some discussion coming out of last week's meeting about whether we tabled or whether we had were considering or what we were doing. I just think it bears noting until an action is moved and seconded by the commissioners, we're really not acting or considering anything. Certainly, everybody has the ability to come in and public comment and share their perspective on things. I think that's what last week's meeting was. I think we've seen more of that today. And I think that's all part of the democratic process. But, I did mention at the end of last week's discussion session, and I still see it today, that we have limitations, fundamental limitations on what we're able to do. And if the general kind of complaint that was in front of us last week was that the federal government is overreaching in their authority, I don't think the solution to that is the commissioners overreaching in our authority. So obviously we don't have anything in front of us unless something changes and there's a motion and second on that specific resolution. We wouldn't have anything in front of us to act upon, and I think that's going to kind of be the status quo unless something changes, or unless the two of you were to take action to bring it in front of us. So I just wanted to clarify that, because certainly I'm open to being to this public meeting becoming and being a forum for this discussion, but until or unless we take some formal action to approve that, and I just from my own personal perspective, I'm not inclined to do something that would tie the hands of our local law enforcement. I think they do a great job, and I feel very confident with those decisions being in the statutory place where they belong, which is with our elected sheriff. So, but until something changes, we really, I just don't want people to think that there's some scenario where we're going to have a meeting or a special meeting and this is going to come back up and we're going to take action on it. That would all be publicized. It wouldn't happen outside of a regular meeting anyway.
Right.
And as of right now, there really isn't anything pending before us. So I just want to offer that clarification.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Jeremy?
All right. Wanted to kind of discuss our Westfield water plant project here. We're at just past our 60% design plans, working with the contractor. We're hoping have something by early summer completed, ready to get moving on our CMAR project. Back when we had 30% plans, I met with the village of Westfield to kind of just, we're their neighbors over there, and just wanted to kind of inform them of the project, what it was. We provided renderings, and I think they had a meeting at the end of January. We provided 3D renderings of what the project or plant will look like, and then met with them again at the beginning of February. And one of the items that came up out in our discussions was with the site being smaller and trying to keep an existing water plant active while building a new one presented a lot of challenges. So where the location of the building kind of hindered or prevented us from being able to put some landscaping in the front, maybe trees, shrubs, that would help hide the building there in their community. And one of the suggestions from the village was to have the building be entirely constructed of brick. Currently, we did basically like a block about 3 foot high, and then it would be metal paneling moving up. To put brick in would be an extra $280,000 to the project. Their request was that it looked similar to some of the other infrastructure buildings that they have in the community. So I wanted to told them I would present that to the commissioners here to see how you would like me to move forward with this.
Can I comment real quick?
Sure.
Just because I'm
Well,
I'll need it.
come on up. You have to come up.
Morning. Julie McNabb, 8812 Maple Leaf Drive, Westfield Center, Ohio. I'm also on council. Just for a matter of slight clarification during that meeting, the idea was to have the facade coordinate with the other buildings down in the center, not necessarily made totally of brick. So I think that needs to be clarified. We were looking at maybe 2 different sections and a facade like brick, not totally brick. So that cost might not be exactly the total cost as to what we were looking at. We were just looking at something more feasible rather than cinder block or the steel just for clarification.
Okay, so, okay, thank you very much. So Jeremy, you want to come back up? So,
But go ahead and clarify, I know we had
Is
some
the-
discussions whether all of it ought to be brick or what sections of it would make sense.
is that
just to do a
quote total
facade.
brick for the whole building?
That would, yeah, it was for the whole.
And it was
building.
actual brick?
Yes,
So basically architecturally make it look much like the insurance company.
that, correct.
And their structures and make it very similar to the village. But the question is just because of its, I guess, visibility from more than one angle, whether it makes sense more than just the facade.
Yeah, it was
Would that
definitely,
be-
yeah, the front, and then they also had mentioned the sides, because if you're driving down Greenwich Road
Right,
in
yeah.
either direction.
Before we have a full discussion on this, can we get cost on just the front and stuff that's more brick-like than instead of actual brick?
I can look into having the contractor
Stuff that's
quote.
not brick. Okay, I'd like to see some more numbers.
We
How about
probably
you?
have, I mean, there's probably a life expectancy difference though too, so I mean, we'd want to factor that in, because if it were fully brick, you're spending more on the front end, but you've got,
A brick building would be a lot, it would withstand a lot longer than a metal paneling or just some brick-like material.
yeah.
I'd
the
still like to
outside.
see numbers.
Yeah, if
What's-
it's,
what's
right,
the-
if the difference in cost
What's
is
the, what's the
significant.
total cost of the building?
Right now, I believe we're at 22 million, I think,
Okay,
for the new
all right.
facility.
So as a percentage, it's a small amount.
Correct.
Yeah, got it. Okay, all right.
But yeah, I mean, an entire brick building would, I mean, it would withstand the test of time. I mean, we have some
Sure.
quite old buildings that are, of brick that are still in decent shape, so.
Okay, all right. So you'll give us some
Yeah,
alternates?
I'll-
then?
Options.
Yep,
Yeah,
I can
think-
do that.
And this is in lieu of a landscaping screening that was going to make it totally, if you will,
With the height of the building, it would have, I don't know if you would be able to hit
you
the
wouldn't be able
building
to do it.
complete, no.
Okay, got it. Now there were some original concerns about the fencing and secured fencing. We'll still be able to have the security fencing?
Correct. I think we worked through the security fence issue.
Okay, good. Good.
And we are
Okay.
also going to work with, I believe, is it Mr. Rhodes is his name?
Rob's.
Rob's. Yes. He was going to work with us when we, assuming we got approval to move
Okay,
forward with
all
this, we were going to consult with him and work with him
Sure.
on design. This way we didn't get too far down a path and then realize that that's not exactly what was looked for, so.
I would definitely like some options, considering the price.
Yep, and we can do that. So,
Right.
not a
Very
problem.
Great.
Excellent. Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay, Matt, did you have anything? Forrest, did you have anything for discussion? Steve, you're up.
Nope.
Aaron?
I covered what I had on my list already.
Oh, okay. So we do not have an executive session?
Yes, we do.
Oh, yes, we
Actually,
do.
I would like to make a motion, we go into
Oh.
executive session for the purpose of imminent litigation.
Second?
Roll.
Hambley?
Yes.
Harrison?
Yes.
Sweattick?
Yes. I apologize. I did not know that.
Yeah, she
Oh.
didn't type it and she needed to add it in, so, yeah.